Special edition, message from the streets, New America, taking out the trash. We must take out the trash because if we don't take out the trash, we're going to become a part of the trash. And trash, as you know, is meant to be disposed of. Welcome to a special edition of Message from the Streets. Today's topic, hot topic, controversial topic. A lot of people are not going to be in agreement with some of the things that I'm going to present today, but it's okay because everybody has their respectful point of view. And I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Today's topic is New America. New America will consist only when old America no longer exists. And what that means is that America in its present form is going down. And America is going down hard. We can see it every day around us. Some people do not want to acknowledge this reality because they see America as the greatest place to live on the planet. I'm not disagreeing with that because of the liberties and the things that we are afforded here in America, but the old ways of America is coming to fruition. All the wicked seeds that the forefathers or the founding fathers of this country has planted is rising up, and they're bringing forth a harvest of destruction. And the thing about it, the destruction must take place in a sense on account of the laws of cause and effect. And we can see the residue of the corruption that some of the forefathers of this country have planted, because it's evident in their seeds of today, not even their blood seed, but the seeds of consciousness or unconsciousness or reckless consciousness or destructive consciousness that they have planted in the minds of the gullible. Now, these people today are only connected to the ideas of the foreparents or forefathers of this country because of an agreement. Actually, in the former days of time, a lot of these people that had these particular views, may they be conservative, Republican, white nationalists, evangelical, white nationalists, Christians, so forth and so on, were actually the descendants of peasants. Yes, before these people came here to America, they were being oppressed in Europe. That's why they came here. And the foreparents were the governing party, were the elite. These people were working the fields, they were doing particular types of jobs, and that right there actually brought about animosity that was planted by the foreparents. When they brought over the slaves, they felt that certain jobs wasn't being affordable to them. Certain situations was being deprived of this particular class of Caucasians or European that now identify themselves as Americans. You could say that you're Americans, you could say that you're white, but in all actuality, you are Caucasians from European Caucasians, from a diaspora in Europe. There's no such thing as white people. I'm not going to condone that, promote that, because that is a sign of agreeing with white supremacy. You're Caucasian or European Americans at the very most. So now, when we look at the animosity was brought about, it happened in stages: during slavery, after slavery, during segregation, after segregation, and the residue of this poisonous mindset still exists today. A lot of people in America, especially Caucasian Americans, that have the seed of hatred in their hearts and in their minds against people of color, so-called black people, descendants of the slaves, the people that their foreparents kidnapped, murdered, raped, exploited, tore apart their families, mutilated them, so forth and so on. And even though that they know that their foreparents did this, they will want to justify what they've done and continue on in this way of this exploitation and oppression of people. But what's going on is that the universal consciousness is awakening, and that deals with truth. Earlier I said America was going to burn. America is not necessarily going to burn by a physical fire, but by a conscious fire, by a fire of truth. And that fire of truth is being ignited in the minds of young people, some people older, so forth and so on account that they have the ability to think. Knowledge is what's freeing the people. Now, we've seen that the so-called blacks was physical slaves, but a majority of so-called whites are mental slaves. And they're still in slavery today from the lies of their foreparents. And you can see it every day when you see them on television. Make America great again. There's no such thing as systematic racism. You know, their allegiance with the current president that is making a mockery of the Constitution, that is making a mockery of the process, but they are still supporting him. They don't look at this man as a president, but in their minds, he's a god. Blasphemy, I say. But let's move it forward. The new America that's coming out of the minds and the hearts of people that refuse to stay shackled and in bondage by the lies of those that came before us. Certain things happen, but I believe that all things happen to bring forth other things. So now what is going on is the harvest. It's harvest time for the crimes that criminals have committed against people. So now these people that have this particular type of mindset that want America to continue on in the old ways and fashion, these people will tell you that this is their land, this is their country. They don't have no regards of the people that were here before them. Because why? They stole it. They are thieves. They are murderers. They are warped in their thought process. And the reason that I'm telling you this or speaking on this is because when you know the truth and you get a conviction in your heart and your mind, you say, you know what? My people did that, man. That's wrong. Point, I would use myself. I used to participate in a certain type of behavior in the streets. But now, since I have become older and I have come out of the matrix, I do not have any agreement with the behavior that's going on in the streets. I do not condone it. I do not promote it. And I pray that brothers and sisters are eventually free from that poisonous mindset. We claiming a culture that has evolved and mutated from a Caucasian culture of criminology. And what I mean is that the crimes, the gangsterism that we're promoting, this whoredom that we're promoting, this is learned behavior. This is learned behavior from a culture that told us this is the way that you got to get money and you got to survive. So we had put on these masks and became all of these things that our forefathers were not. This is what their forefathers were. But that's another story. But I just want you to think about it. Do your homework. Moving forward, for a new America to rise, people have to come together and resist the old ways. The Democrats, the Republicans have failed the people. And you know what they're doing? They keep on putting us in a trick bag. And what they are giving us is the same old policies. Remix. They got the remix. Remix. They throw it over there to the Republicans. Remix. Throw it over there to the Democrats. Same old thing. They had the same goals and agendas that their foreparents have set over 100 years ago. And that's why they got the bloodline thing going on, because they educate, indoctrinate their offsprings to continue on the nefarious agendas of their forefathers. And a lot of educated, intelligent, so-called black people and people of other nationalities and ethnic groups don't see it, but I'm coming to tell you the truth. If you do your research, you will know that this thing that's going on has a mind of its own in a sense. It has an AI, and what happens is they put a person in the presidency, and the president don't run this country. The policies that were here before the president actually runs the country. And we got a special case going on now with Donald J. Trump, because this man is taking on a persona of a Hitler. He's trying to stage a coup. But this is what the American dream or nightmare has promoted, because if you haven't, constructed this thing, this man would not be operating in this form of narcissistic entitlement, godlike, so-called godlike persona about themselves, attracting. What is he attracting? Racism, white nationalists, violence, all the things that so-called patriotic Americans say that they're against. He's ready, if he would defy the Constitution and take and keep the White House. But this is necessary. I'm not upset at Mr. Trump of what he's doing or have done. I spoke a lot about it in the past because I don't agree with it, and I don't agree with wickedness. But that's another story. Yet I know from the teaching that it is necessary that we have this man in this position demonstrating like he's demonstrating to prove to those that want a new America that this system has failed us. Not just failed the middle class, the poor, it even failed the rich, because the rich have been indoctrinated with a false ideology that materialism is the path to happiness and success, when all the time it's nothing but a trap. It's nothing but a prison. Ladies and gentlemen, we can bring forth a new America, stand up for truth, stand up for correctness, or we can just lay back and let the demise and destruction of America come, because we always got a choice. And when we choose correction, the falsehood will dissolve. But if we continue to be passive and in cahoots or conspire with this system based on monetary gain and saying, you know what, F the people. That's what they saying. You know what, we will use them, they will die, and when they die, we're going to put somebody else in their place, because pawns are replaceable. But you know what, we better be those pawns that make it across the whole board and turn it to a king, turn it to a castle, turn it to a queen, turn it to a powerful piece to show these people that we ain't going for this nonsense no more. Ladies and gentlemen, message from the street. New America is up to me and it's up to you to do our part. I bring you this message in love. I leave you this message in peace and goodwill to all mankind. And remember to live your life on purpose, with purpose, because it's all purpose. Praise him that raised him.